Hey everybody, how is it going? And welcome back to Follow the Tale of Two Wastelands. In the last episode, we managed to make our way into the town. We killed a man who was up there. We did a bunch of shit. And then my recording ultimately decided to give me the old fucking finger. I did as best as I could to get as much content as I could out of the failed recording. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, I didn't have much else that I could do. So, what all happened... I'm very prone to having recording mistakes, and I'm fully aware of that. The more recent one was something that I had never experienced before, and I don't quite know what happened or quite how to fix it. I can try to summarize it very briefly to those of you few who are interested in my dumbass's recording plights. Alright, so we traveled to the playground, now we can return to Moira. So... I had gone through these houses. I didn't find a whole hell of a lot. I'm also going to wait because I've actually changed up my recording a little bit. So now it makes the color accuracy a lot better. But at the expense that if it's dark, holy balls is it fucking dark as shit. So that's not a huge deal. Now it's bright and we're good. And you guys can actually see how the game actually looks. I'm no longer recording in the wrong color space like I have been for 4 years. Yeah, so anyway, I was recording, I had some issues, I had some dilemmas, and at the end of the day, when I went to open up the file, I would find that at random points of time, my game would just, not even the game, just the video, so I would load it up in VLC, then I could look over the raw recording, and VLC would crash. So that's really weird. So then I thought, I wonder if, because what could happen is I could end up getting the actual gameplay, but I couldn't get the audio. So I was like, you know what? There's got to be some way to get the audio from the original video and then just put it over, sync it, and call it a day. Unfortunately, those little parts where there'd be 1 or 2 seconds of messed up audio, it would cause Handbrake to crash. It would cause VLC to crash. And it got to a point where I could eventually... Also, I have Enclave music that just kicked in. It got to a point where I eventually had an issue where I said... I sat down, and it was before work. I started a new job recently. Explain that in a second. But I sat down and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to get the rest of this finished and do as much as I can. And whom I credit, I gave it an honest man's effort. But it gets to a point now where whenever I open up the file, it just closes. It's a problem. The incident stems with, I assume, my MP4 file breaking. I assume that this all happened because I was recording an hour-long footage to a slower 5400 RPM drive, and I'm not overly sure. But what I do know is that it gets to a point now where even File Explorer tends to break. So I don't even know. Because I go to load up the file, nothing opens, and then File Explorer freezes and crashes. And then I try to drag the file into Handbrake and everything crashes and everything freezes. So I don't know what I did. I also don't know where the hell I am. Where am I? Agatha's house. Who is Agatha? Why do I feel like she's a Deathclaw? She's probably the sweetest old lady you could ever meet. Hello? I think we're fine. You have a damaged gnome. I also found a damaged gnome in that other house. I thought that was interesting. Alright, are you gonna kill me as soon as I walk in? I don't know. Hello? Okay, she hasn't killed me, she's asleep. Let's wake you up.
Oh my, I wasn't expecting any visitor. My, you certainly do look a little bit worn out from your travels. Oh, just look at my terrible manners. I'm Agatha. It's so nice to meet you. Now, what brings you all the way out here?
Honestly, I was about to ask you the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just fine out here. My husband, rest his poor soul, saw to it that our house was well protected from the elements and the inhabitants of the wastes.
Oh, your husband's dead. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, that's kind of you to say. Yes, he's gone. After he built this place, we spent many happy years together. We decided to cut off contact with the outside world and just depend on each other for comfort and company.
You know what? I think I can respect that. The wastes are a cruel, cold place. So, surely you haven't... Well, Do you have anything valuable? No, I'm not an asshole. Look, a frail old lady like yourself should be careful out here all alone.
Old? Yes. Frail? No.
Uh-oh.
I can still hold my own if I have to. My husband made me learn a thing or two about how to defend myself. Besides, I have a caravan come through here about once a week to trade. They'd miss me if I was gone.
Okay, wait, I think that you're misunderstanding. I don't want it to sound like I'm going to kill you. So, I'm not gonna ask that. That sounds risky. What if the caravan just doesn't arrive?
Well, I always have my husband's old radio set to fall back on. I used it once in an emergency when a group of raiders was getting a bit too close for comfort to my house. Otherwise, I use it to broadcast my so-called music I play from my homemade violin.
I guess a homemade violin is never... I don't understand. So wait, your husband's radio can broadcast across the entire capital wasteland? That's pretty impressive.
Yes, my husband was very proud of the setup. He tinkered with that thing for years to get it working. I've tried to use it to get whatever I need, but I've never gotten a reply.
That's really weird. Well, is there any way I can help?
But now that you mention it, yes, there is. My trading depends on my violin. Without it, I have nothing to play, no way to make music. If you can bring me a violin, a better one, I'd feel much more secure.
Well, I think that's hardly something that would survive the war, right?
Yes, very sad, isn't it? Sad to think that no more musical instruments will ever be made the old way ever again. Well, fortunately, I know where perhaps the last real violin in the world exists. If you give me your word that you will recover it, I will tell you more.
See, in the initial recording, I made my way back to Moira and I gave her what she needed, but I didn't go this way. In fact, I have no idea where I am even on a map, so fuck it, I'll give her my word. I'll do my best to recover a violin for you.
Oh, I don't think I've been this happy in years. I have some information that may help you, at least a place to begin. It all starts with my great-great-grandmother back in 2077 before the bombs fell.
I've been really excited about Cyberpunk, and that just caught me off guard. I can't even imagine that long ago.
It certainly is a long time. That precious instrument has been through a lot. Anyway, Hilda was quite a special woman, classically trained and exceptionally talented at the violin. Her pride and joy was her Stradivarius violin. I can only imagine how exquisite this instrument must have been. When the war reared its head, she was invited by Vault Tech into Vault 92. They claimed the vault would be dedicated to preserving musical talent.
Musical talent? Why would they care about that?
Vault Tech was always promoting the vaults being used for the preservation of the arts and all that nonsense. Hilda couldn't pass on a chance to meet many of the other musical talents of the world, so she accepted their invitation. Then the bombs fell, the vault was sealed, and my family never heard from her again.
Well, after 200 years, how can you be certain the violin's in decent shape?
She kept it in a special pressurized case. Inside the case is the perfect temperature and humidity for the instrument. If the case is still functioning, the Stradivarius would be in perfect shape. Hilda's Stradivarius was named the Swa Stradivarius. All of them had names. That's what I want you to get.
Okay, well, do you have any idea where the vault is?
That's the catch. I have no idea where it is. I'd suggest making your way to Vault Tech headquarters in the D.C. ruins. That would be a good place to begin. Good luck!
Yeah, I do have some stuff to take care of there, so sure. Well, I have to go now.
Be careful. I don't want to be responsible for getting you killed.
You said that so casually. Well, do you have anything in this house that I could take? Why do you have a teddy bear? Okay, not going to question it. Why is the light breaking? Why is that thing having a rave party? Alright, well anyway, these are not important things. She literally has nothing, but now we have a quest for a violin, so... Okay. I mean, yeah, I've had some really weird quests in the Wastelands. This should be no different, I'd imagine. Okay. Well, where are we at? Where are we going? I have no idea where I even am. If this bridge breaks, is she just fucked? Probably. Well, okay. So we have a lot of... That thing just disappeared off in the distance. I have the Enclave Radio. I don't know why. The Enclave Radio is not my favorite. I look forward to playing Galaxy News Radio again, but I'm just gonna hope that I can manage to not get copyright stuff, because that's a thing. Okay, where am I going? I need to look for my quest. I still have the Return to Moira quest, and the optional Bring a Landmine. I have a lot of landmines, so that shouldn't be an issue. Also, this wants me to go to DC, so if I'm looking around... That, I think, is the DLC, as is that, as is that, as is that, maybe? This is the main quest. Right. This, I need... Okay, I know what I need to do. And junk and gnomes. Alright, I have a rough idea of what I'm doing and where I'm going. But I'm wondering... What is your guys' opinion on fast traveling? I don't really enjoy fast traveling in games, but for the sake of a Let's Play, I don't know if I could make it that interesting, where I'm just managing to find conversation a lot. There's a lot of conversation to be had in the Wastes, and there's a lot of everything in the Wastes. And I don't know if there's enough stuff for me to kind of run into. We have a town here, but I think we've run through it. If I look at the map, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do fast traveling. But if you guys decide, you know what, fuck that, we don't want that, just let me know down in the comments below. I take you guys' opinions obviously seriously. I wouldn't have content if it wasn't for people, because I do this for everybody. It's the weird way that we work when you do YouTube for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think I'm nearing 6 years, maybe? It's been a real long time that I've been recording and just sitting in a room talking to myself, and I don't think I'm having any issues. You are the son of a bitch. I'm pretty sure that crashed my game the last time. I don't know. Why was that door red? Right, okay, it's just a glitch, doesn't matter. Hi, Moira.
How are those hot little potatoes? Because, you know, they're on the ground, like potatoes, and hot because they, explode. Anyway, what's up?
That's some solid answering. Also, I don't know what's up with her hair, just ignore that. Weird glitches are gonna happen. It's the nature of mods. So listen, I got through the minefield alive, and I even brought you a present.
My very own landmine! Oh, just what I've always wanted. Well, always since I sent you out on this anyway. Now, tell me all about it. What was it like going through there? What's it like disarming a landmine?
Well, fast hands and faster wits can get you an awful lot, including landmines.
That's a pretty good way of putting it. I think I'll use that in the book. Maybe I should credit you as a co-author instead of just a researcher. I know you may not want to see any more explosives for a while, but obviously you know your way around them. Have a couple rainy day toys of mine. And looking at this landmine, it gives me an idea. It's a terrible device that does terrible things, of course, but it's easy to make your own, too.
Well, that completes the first chapter, right?
Yup, you've done a great job. I just need to add in the section on how to cook rat, and this chapter's done. Here, for your services, I've saved up quite a few stim packs. Of course, you may need them. We still got 2 more chapters to go.
Alright, well I'm ready to start the next chapter.
The second chapter is going to be a bit trickier, I think. It'll cover how to handle creatures out there, for better or worse. For example, repelling mole rats, learning about mirelurks, and when all else fails, how to handle being injured. So let's buckle down and get to work on this chapter. What's first?
Well, tell me more about repelling the mole rats.
Mole rats can burrow into almost anything and cause a lot of trouble. So I figured I'd make a chemical repellent stick for people to shoo them off. But I need it to be tested before I put the recipe to paper in the guide. So I need you to find some mole rats and test it out a bit.
Well, sure, I'll test with the repellent for you.
It'll be easy. One tap with the applicator, and it overwhelms their senses with a sort of feel-bad sensation. Then they're gone before you know it. You could test it out on just a few mole ratties, but for real testing, try it on 10 or more. There should be plenty in the tepid sewers downtown.
Alright, well, I have to go now, I guess.
Good luck with that research.
Yes, yes. Now, am I over encumbered? No. So, I don't recall when it happened, if it was in the broken part of the audio or otherwise, but I changed back to the vault stuff, and I got rid of the medium armor just because I like having inventory space, and as long as I had the other armor, I didn't have as much, and I was also moving slower than I did with the light armor, so that's the difference there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if all this worked out. We managed to make our way back here, not too much of an issue. I explained some of the issue. I started a new job and I told you guys I'd tell you about it, but I might have to wait until the next episode for that. So if you guys are interested in that, by all means look forward to it. But if you're not, it's only going to be brief. I'm going to make sure that I tackle some of the mole rats. And I'm going to see if we can get this repellent to work. You guys know the drill though. If you guys liked this episode, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys liked. Similarly, if you guys didn't like it, leave a dislike and a comment saying what you didn't like so that I can improve and we can fix it up and go from there. And if you guys enjoyed, like I said, I thank you guys so much for watching. It does, of course, mean the absolute world to me. I do hope you guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and, well, ciao.